Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host Khalid. And of course today we've got lots to discuss with you. The first of course concerns the cabinet meeting that was held today under the chairmanship of our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in which the promotion of General Syed Asim Munir Nishan-e-Imtiaz military to the rank of Field Marshal was also confirmed, recognizing his exceptional leadership during the conflict. This is going to be our first story. Then we are going to talk about Pakistan-China relations, whether it be in the media superiority, whether it be in the strategic and the military superiority, and how it is irking China and irking India rather, and other global leaders as to how Chinese technology is outsmarting other Western technology, especially in the military domain. This and more is going to be discussed in our second segment, and also of course the visit of our Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Iqrar, who is in the People's Republic of China. There is a trilateral summit that is also going to be held with the foreign ministers of the three countries, Afghanistan, China and Pakistan. Mr. Muttaqi will be there from the Afghan side, and of course Mr. Wangi and Mr. Iqrar have met, and important deliberations have been held between the leaders regarding the latest situation in the region, and of course the strong bond between Pakistan and China. Then ladies and gentlemen, we are going to discuss the ECO and how the ECO and the different countries that are part of it, that includes also India, have been trying to malign or destabilize other countries in the region, one being Pakistan and the other being Iran. That and more is going to be discussed in our third story. And finally, we are going to talk about the latest situation as far as Palestine is concerned, and the statements that have come from European countries as well as from Pakistan as to putting pressure on Israel to stop the barbarities that it is perpetrating on Palestine. It has been years now that this has been going on, and the number of casualties continues to increase, and also the lack of food and the proper aid to the hapless people in Palestine continues on to this state as well. Let's begin with our first story. Our first story concerns the cabinet meeting that was held today, ladies and gentlemen, and under the chairmanship of our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif Saab. Not only did our Prime Minister congratulate the entire Pakistani nation on the resounding success of the Operation Bunyanu Marsoos during Marka-e-Haq, and also highlighted how it foiled enemy designs and ensured Pakistan's security. The cabinet also approved the promotion of our Chief of the Army Staff, General Syed Asim Munir Nishan-e-Imtiaz military to the rank of Field Marshal, and this was of course to recognize his exceptional capabilities and leadership during the conflict. The cabinet members also acknowledged that Pakistan had passed through one of the most difficult phases in its history. India, as you very well know, between the night of 6th and 7th, launched an unprovoked and unjustified war targeting civilian areas, including women and children, and in fact was labeling Pakistan since the Pahalgam false flag operation to be behind all of this. The cabinet also strongly commended India's violation of Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity, condemned it in the strongest of terms. The Chief of the Army Staff was also praised for his extraordinary courage and strategic leadership, synchronizing the armed forces, combat response, and leading Pakistan to victory, and we all saw that, and the world recognized that as well. In recognition of this bravery and military brilliance, the Prime Minister's proposal to elevate him to Field Marshal was unanimously approved by the cabinet. The Prime Minister also met with President Asif Ali Zardari to formally inform him of this decision. The cabinet also further decided to extend the tenure of Air Chief Marshal Zahir Ahmed Babar Sidhu, acknowledging his leadership. But it was also resolved that officers, soldiers, war veterans, martyrs and civilians who have rendered meritorious services during Operation Bunyanu Marsoos will be honoured with top state awards. These were the decisions that were taken during the cabinet meeting that was held today, and important decisions of course pertaining to our Chief of the Army Staff and of course our Air Chief as well. Let's come to our second story, and our second story concerns the relationship that exists between Pakistan and China. It is a time-tested, strong relation, and it is a relation that has withstood the good and the bad and the tense and the tough times as well. We'll discuss that and more. We've been joined by Agha Iqrar Haroon. He's a senior analyst inside the studios. Agha Sahab, thank you very much to have joined us, and also Dr. Hassan Daud. He's a regional affairs expert. He is joining us online. Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan, to have joined us as well. We will begin with you, Agha Iqrar Haroon. The DG ISPR gave an interview to the China Media Group, in which he says that Pakistan's strength lies in its internal resolve and self-reliance, especially during high-stakes conflicts like Operation Bunyanum Marsoos. How important is this statement, and how important is giving this statement to the China state media?
Thank you so much. Umar, as you already mentioned, China and Pakistan are basically not two brotherly countries. Rather, they have, you can say, they are shadow of each other. And since Chinese media has a very huge spectrum of readership and viewership, so this interview is you can see at many international forums, so it is widespread. So using a platform which has a more reach, we reach out in different languages, this is definitely a very a timely move. And let me add one very point. China has been supporting Pakistan in our media sphere as well. So we should also understand, I think you have mentioned this point in your discussion. This interview and expressing the resolve of the nation at the platform of China, it is, for me, it has sending many messages. First of all, this is message for everybody that Pakistan is now a completely, you can say, a country whose civil administration, military administration, politicians, irrespective of their political divide, they are together. And what we have achieved in Marka-e-Haq, that is basically representation of a oneness of this nation. This is one message. And if you go through his entire interview, you will find he was very categorical that nobody should check us again and again. We followed the policy of restraint. We want peace in the region, and peace is the only option for humanity. But Pakistan is all time ready to face any an attempt of aggression from any side.
It has shown with the Operation Bunyanum Marsoos on the 10th that it was capable to thwart any enemy designs whatsoever. Dr. Hassan Daud, but talking of the DG ISPR's interview to the China Media Group, he talks about the reaffirmation of Pakistan and China being responsible nations. Could you highlight some of the strategic alignments that have happened between Islamabad and Beijing in regional securities? Dr. Hassan Daud, we can't hear you. If you could just unmute, I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Omar.
We can hear you.
It is said that there are years in which nothing happens, and there are days in which things of years happen. And I think as a nation, we have seen it all happening in these couple of days in which, Pakistan's stature in the region has actually improved. And this is, as my colleague was highlighting, friendship between China and Pakistan. And there's a lot of effort has been put to reach to a state where it is now. And I think in terms of, and if you look at Belt and Road Initiative, if you look at Global Development Initiative, or if you look at the Global Security Initiative of China, and all these three initiatives actually highlight the fact that China, as the second largest economy of the world, wants to work under a shared prosperity and shared future. And Pakistan, likewise, is actually the government of Pakistan, through a whole of government approach, is working towards economic development of our country. And therefore, we want peace, harmony, and want to work as a responsible neighbors within the region. And therefore, the statement of DGISPR in terms of us being responsible, both us and China, not just in our bilateral affairs, but regional affairs. We have demonstrated this in bilateral forums like SCO and, of course, the Belt and Road Initiative. Pakistan again and again has demonstrated that we only want harmony, peace, and development. And we want to work with all our neighbors, and all our neighbors, including Central Asian republics, respect that aspect of Pakistan. Our Prime Minister has highlighted that. Our military leadership have highlighted that. And I think these aspects, again, with the joint work and joint focus and joint vision under the Belt and Road Initiative, both our nations want to work towards development through a responsible framework.
All right. Iqrar, Haroon, in what ways do you feel Pakistan's counter-terrorism commitment, as emphasized in this interview with the China media group, reinforces its role as a stabilizing force in the Asian region in contrast to India's hegemonic behavior?
Yes, I mean, actually, we are the only left stabilizing force against terrorism in the region, technically speaking, because our eastern border and the western border, somehow or other, directly or indirectly, they are. I mean, eastern border is directly involved in cross-border terrorism against Pakistan, and the western border indirectly. If you go to the Sukar report and other international reports about Afghanistan, so this is what they claim, not me. It has become a launching pad for global terrorism. So Pakistan is the only country which is facing, receiving terrorism, but again trying its level best. This terrorism must not spread globally. This is what we are doing, and we are doing it at the cost of our blood and our children and our youth. I mean, international forum should understand. I always write that Pakistan, even India should understand, Pakistan is the last post against terrorism in the world. Because whatever comes from western borders, it can spread in all over the world if Pakistan had not been fighting against terrorism, my dear, and fighting by sacrificing our future, that is our boys and our sons. So you are absolutely right. Pakistan is the only country which is basically trying level best to contain terrorism. But I've been using the opportunity of this forum. I request international forums also, they should come forward now. If enough is enough. Pakistan is fighting this war independently. Nobody supported us. 57 countries of ISAF defeated themselves inside Afghanistan. But Pakistan won this war from 2014 to 2018. What happened in 2019? Forget that. This is what the brunt we are facing today. Anyhow, we won this war. Pakistan is the only country that can handle terrorism. This is what we are doing it. Every day there is you can say cross-border terrorism or insurgency trying to enter into Pakistan, and we mitigate them, particularly from the western borders. I think now international power should come forward and understand this, and they should also set up both sides of the our borders. Please don't do it, because enough is enough. And when Indian diplomats were sitting in the western border, Pakistan killed, sent to hell 71 terrorists, which Kharjis. It was a symbol of Pakistan's resilience and a message to someone sitting over there, don't do it. So this is what Pakistan has been trying to.
All right. Dr. Hassan Daud, but how important is the Pakistan-China defense partnership in ensuring regional stability, given the technological and operational superiority that was recently established in the military escalation with India? We have seen the effectiveness of the Chinese-made J-10Cs jets and the PL-15 missiles that were used by Pakistan and very effectively used by Pakistan in thwarting not only the Indian jets but also claiming its air superiority. How important was this as a sign, as a message of the strengthening strategic and military partnership between China and Pakistan that is reaping its dividends?
Well, we are iron brothers, and as they say in China, we are Patiye. And you go across the streets in China, you would hear people talking about Pati if you introduce them, yet you are from China. And that reflects the overarching relationship that we have with China. It's not just the economic relationship that we have built through China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. There is a history of our strategic partnership. Of course, in international forums like the UN, there is harmony of the stance that we take. And also in the military sphere, Pakistan was one country which always trusted Chinese hardware as far as the military is concerned, and always worked with our Chinese brothers and sisters in the military, from Navy, Air Force, and Army. And even in the security domain, we worked with them. Even in the case of CPEC security, there's a joint working group on security. So what I want to highlight is that the relationship, as far as China is concerned, is broader and it's strengthening. And now I think this recent demonstration by Pakistani pilots and, of course, the engineers have actually showcased the strength of this relationship, because it was not just that the Chinese technology was being used and it has demonstrated its strength. It was also our pilots, the training that we've got through our through joint collaboration, and of course, starting from JF-17, the frigates that we have built with the support of China, and now the submarines are also on their way. I think the price service support is there, and of course, this is going to strengthen. And I think both countries benefit from working with each other in stronger collaborative manner, and for a win-win outcome. And I think this recent achievement of our Air Force have demonstrated the strength of both sides.
All right. Agha, Iqrar, Haroon, Chinese air defense system, drones, hypersonic missiles provided Pakistan with a significant advantage. How, in your point of view, can Pakistan further strengthen this cooperation to counter future threats from major adversaries like India?
Umar, I have seen with my own eyes that in our, you can say, assembly lines, Chinese and Pakistani, not only engineers, rather officers of the Pakistan Air Force, they are working together like, you can say, like mechanics. So, our collaboration is so close. Pakistan is involved in every step of even making and of these hardwares. And this is what Pakistan have achieved during the last 20 years with the constant support of China. And one thing, actually Pakistan has become a showcase or a showcasing or a window of Chinese hardware globally now. I mean, just look at the price of stocks of Chinese companies which are dealing with the GF Thunder and PL10 and PL15. This is the collaboration which would definitely and will and is supporting or I mean providing benefit to both of them. And Pakistan is also a exporter of GF Thunder. I don't want to name 2 or 3 countries which has already procured it. And after this, you can say a dust licking defeat to India. We have receiving so many orders directly, or even China is also receiving.
That is true.
That is the reality. And this is basically a shock, rather a shock wave for global North weapon industry. And I don't want to name the news channel, but I must cite the story. The fabricated story was published in a global North top television. There was a dog fight. This dog fight went on 5 hours or 2 hours. Why? Because they wanted to tell the world that no, it was not PL10 or PL15 or JFC. Basically, it was a dog fight, and in dog fight, anything can happen. So this story was planted, and thanks go to Pakistan, ISPR. We categorically informed the entire world what was the reality, what happened, and how artificial intelligence, our sensor systems, and our I mean, you can say a control beyond the expectation of the global north on IT industry of China and Pakistan. We achieved this.
That is true, and many other realities will also come to light in the coming days and weeks as well. Dr. Hassan Daud, last to you, our Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar Sahab is in Beijing as we speak. He has met with important leaders such as the Minister for International Department of the Communist Party of China and Wang Yi, the Foreign Minister of China. There is also going to be a trilateral summit between Afghanistan, China and Pakistan. How critical is the reaffirmation of the Pakistan-China all-weather strategic cooperative partnership between Wang Yi and Ishaq Dar Sahab at a time when our region is experiencing these heightened tensions?
I think, Omar, bitter politics have actually demonstrated that the capacity that the region has, we've not been able to achieve. And of course, India's hegemonic designs have always been the factor of us not developing as much as we want. But I think China, through their action, and of course Pakistan and China through their shared vision of prosperity and brotherhood have demonstrated. And of course, China's reaffirmation, as you just highlighted, is not a diplomatic signal alone. I think it's a strategic signal. And what China is highlighting is that in need, China will always be there to protect our sovereignty, of course, and will be there to actually thwart any designs, aggressive designs of India, and for that reason, maybe others who want to impact our friendship. I think this visit of our Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister is very timely, and I think his meeting with Foreign Minister Wang Yi is extremely vital, because Wang Yi always during his visits to Pakistan and elsewhere, even in SCO, he's been speaking about our brotherhood between the two nations, and always been speaking about the strength of bilateral relationship between Pakistan and China. His body language, if you observe closely during his meeting with Pakistani leadership, is absolutely different, and sometimes it speaks of the brotherhood that is there. He's been the foreign minister for so long. Our deputy prime minister would also be meeting party leadership, and of course the party leadership which represent the diplomatic front. And this reaffirmation by China, I think, will go as a strong signal to India, and perhaps this will strengthen the relationship for some domestic affairs in Pakistan. I think for our phase two of CPEC, which I'm sure you'll be discussing later, this also highlights that the relationship is so strong. And I used to wonder why people question. Sometimes you find people questioning CPEC and its progress. And I used to tell them that the relationship between China and Pakistan is so strong that nothing can actually stop the progress and direction of the progress of CPEC. So therefore, I think this visit and the visit that will follow, I'm sure there'll be senior leadership of Pakistan, maybe at all levels, will go and engage with the Chinese leadership. And I have always been in your programs also been reiterating of the fact that our leadership should interact, and that leadership is not just the political leadership. It should be leadership of the military. It should be leadership of the business community.
That is
And
true.
this
Leadership should be a leadership that should be beyond all scopes, beyond all boundaries, and that is how things should move forward. Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan Daud, to have joined us. We have to a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and you're watching Newsroom. I'm Omar Khalid, but we continue to talk about the success that Pakistan has had on so many fronts following the Operation Bunyani Marsoos. We talked about how China has been such a formidable ally in strengthening Pakistan's defense arena and also backing Pakistan in the good times, in the bad times, and in the tough times as well. And that has further strengthened with time, and Operation Bunyanu Marsoos and Marka-e-Haq have just shown how Pakistan and China together are a formidable and become a formidable entity and can thwart any enemy designs whatsoever. Coming to you, Agha Iqrar, Haroon, Operation Bunyanu Marsoos, it has not only restored Pakistan's conventional deterrence but has also forced India to seek a ceasefire, exposing the myth of Indian military supremacy. Do you feel that it will take a long time for India to get back on their own 2 feet regarding all the statements that they had made in the past?
First of all, this what I called Marka-e-Haq has re-established conventional warfare importance, because somehow or other it was called, it was our stated position. I don't know. I mean, I only read in books. I don't remember that Pakistan would be the first to strike. But Pakistan is a very peaceful country. It is actually ensuring the peace in the region.
True.
In last, particularly last 5 years, Pakistan gained so much in conventional, training and warfare, and we have mitigated India's so-called, honor, so-called honor, through what? Through conventional warfare. So conventional warfare has again not only re-established, it has become a forefront position that Pakistan has defeated India in conventional warfare. Using the same strategy which Pakistan did in 1965, I mean the Air Force first. Understand? So technically speaking, the world is now standing where it was in the late 60s. And the same, not only in Pakistan, if you go and see whatever is going on in Ukraine and Russia war, this is basically base concept. This concept was basically ejected, or you can say, somehow or other put on a center stage by the India. Look, Pakistan is a nuclear country, it is very weak, God forbid me, and it has no, you can say, comparative study with the Indian in conventional warfare, therefore, thereby, this and that. But Pakistan knew what Pakistan is, and Pakistan knows what it is, and we defeated them in Air Force. Twice in last 5 years. It was 2019, we defeated them, and it is 2025, we defeated them. Like in the Ukraine.
But 2025 is a whole different level, isn't it?
There are, with dupology, there are two major differences. First, we won even 2019 through our PF, but in political decision, we handed over the guest within 48 hours. That sent a message which we did it out of humanity, but this message was taken as a weakness of Pakistan internationally, particularly international media. But this time we have told everybody who are we and how can we manage even sitting and standing and flying in our land, not even crossing international border. We defeated them, and now Indian media is also accepting at least 4. Now they will. So
there is no official stance. There is no official stance to date from the Indian side as to the downing
there
of
is no stance. But no, international forums has released these images, this satellite images, and you can at least 4 images. If Indian media is also using, they will very soon will show the 6 out of 6. One huge drone and 5 jet planes, including Jaguar.
All right.
So this is what Pakistan did in conventional field.
All right, and Pakistan has also succeeded in many other fields that we will know the successes about in times to come as well. Thank you very much to have joined us, Agha, Iqrar, Haroon. Before we end, we just wanted to talk a little bit about Palestine and Israel. Israeli forces bombarded Gaza, killing at least 73 people since midnight, including attacks on displacement shelters in Gaza City that have killed 22 people. If you look at the recent toll, it is 53,573, 121,688 have been wounded, and this atrocities and the host level of barbarity continues unabated. Now, there has been a joint statement from the leaders of Canada, the United Kingdom and France on the situation in Gaza and the West Bank that says that we strongly oppose the expansion of the Israeli military operations in Gaza, and they also talk about many other denouncing all the efforts, not the efforts, but of course the barbaric attitude of Israel. Let's see whether that bears fruit or not. We will be of course updating you as when more on that front comes. Till then, stay tuned right here to PTV World. We'll see you inshallah tomorrow with new stories segments that pertain to us, you in Pakistan. Allah Hafiz.